It's the Will Rain Show. Best producer in the business, Johnny Royal, in the producer's seat, ladies and gentlemen. It's actually a little folding chair, but we call it the producing seat so he'll feel really important.
I even have a piece of Scotch tape on it.
There you go. There's a little sign on the back that says producer because he's big on labels. He's big on titles. I hate people who are big on titles.
Hey,
Just do your job and that's it.
I'm the office OSHA guy.
There you go.
Coordinator.
I tell you, when I heard this story, I felt two things. I was amazed, and at the same time, I felt a twinge of grief for these people. You may or may not have read that somewhere near the border of Brazil and Peru on the Amazon River, a previously undiscovered group of 200 human beings, and the photos are fantastic. When you go to pick them out on any of the British newspapers or to give them credit, SodaHead has some, SodaHead.com has some great photos of the people. Absolutely fascinating.
Just like traveling back in time.
Absolutely. Just like stepping back thousands of years. These are people apparently who have had no contact whatsoever with outside groups. There are approximately, they imagine, I guess, from the layout of they appear to me, having done some work on New York and Pennsylvania history about the Iroquois, very similar to Iroquois longhouses. In other words, these are probably people who live communally. They don't each have a separate house.
Well, it looked like there were some separate houses around a main community center.
Or maybe they had some shops for preparing food, some outbuildings, in other words. But there were maybe 3-4 main buildings that Johnny and I could see. And the people are looking up after they were discovered on satellite. I guess they discovered an odd opening in this impenetrable jungle. And when they took a closer look, they said, my gosh, there's structures here. And then they do a flyover in a Cessna, which may be the kiss of death for these poor people.
It's all over.
Yeah, the scientists, as you would imagine, anthropologists, are drooling just to get a glimpse here. And the poor people, God love them, they're there. And there's one shot where Johnny has it up on our board now. You can see it at sodahead.com, where two of the male tribesmen actually are menacing the Cessna with their bows and arrows. Isn't that something?
Yeah, the problem with this is, this is going to change their culture. And, people are saying, don't go, don't go talk to these people. Don't interfere. Leave them alone.
Right.
It's already too late.
It's you have to wonder, whatever their religion or their idea of the cosmos might have been, all of a sudden there's a Cessna flying over your house. What are they to make of that? Is it a god? Remember the old cargo cults of the Pacific region, where during World War II, I guess some tribes on remote Pacific islands believed that American military ships were the vessels of the gods. And when the troops kicked out food and stuff like that, they assumed that these were gifts from the gods. So absolutely fascinating to think that in this day and age, somewhere in the world, there's somebody who's never had a telephone, never seen a road. In a way, you got to envy them. And in a way, you got to envy them.
There's over 200 of them there, too.
They estimate about 200 people. It's an ancient Amazonian tribal community center discovered deep in the heart of impenetrable Amazonian jungle. And you can see just by that phrase why anthropologists would be dying to get in. Hey, how you doing? Hey, how you doing? I'm here from the university. I come in peace.
These guys actually have been discovered over 1,000 times.
Yeah. I'm here looking for my friend Fred. He was an anthropologist too. And can you blame the people? It's they're only defending themselves. I am from the cable company.
No, it's college collections can always find you.
I'm here about that student loan somebody. But gosh, well, you Johnny's even found a better picture. The people looking up in absolute awe at the plane flying over. That's why Johnny is called the best producer in talk radio. He's got. I thought I had seen the best photos. He's got even better ones up here now. But is that Soda Head?
No. I've
Gone to another site. Okay.
10 sites later.
So if you just Google Amazonian tribe discovered, you'll come to these photos are absolutely mind-bending. If you have any love whatsoever of history, anthropology, and kind of love for your fellow human being, you got to wonder where these people are going to wind up now that suddenly they're on the front page. It might turn out tragically for them, as it has so many times before with indigenous people, but absolutely fascinating. And how do you feel about that? Maybe we'll take some calls on how people are. You can email us at any time on the show. Just click on studio email. Should these people be left alone? Is it already too late? As Johnny has mentioned, once the Cessna flies over, have you done damage? Maybe you've not done irreparable damage, but absolutely unbelievable.
Yeah, you've already changed their belief system just by flying over.
Right.
I mean, taking satellite photos is one thing. Flying over, directly over in a plane.
More intrusive.
Yeah.
And you got to love the cojones on the two guys with their bows and arrows.
Yeah, with
taking
bows.
on a Cessna.
They know they
just
can't.
Defending their families, you know?
Unbelievable.
It doesn't say they actually launched any arrows. I don't know if they did. But certainly probably couldn't have touched the Cessna. I don't believe they flew that low. But there's a picture of one of their dwelling places, and kind of like I said, not like a Northeast woodland Indian culture. It looks more like wattle and daub, kind of a mud over sticks kind of deal. And there they are living in an intellectual paradise, I guess you could say, hardly making a dent. Now look at the surrounding. You know how our modern culture, you know, you get some nice farmland and in 20 years it disappears and it's 5 strip malls.
You're right.
That breaks your heart. But look at these people. They barely make a dent into the environment that surrounds them. They're just a dot, if you will, among the, when you zoom back, you see how insignificant their footprint is against the total of the Amazon jungle.
Well, that's why no one's ever found them before, because there's nothing but jungle all around them. You know, they have a little footpath around their main building, and that's it. That's all they've done to the environment.
Absolutely mind-boggling. No politics, no ideas of what's going on in the world. Only their own little world. It's as I say. I hope my one of my first feelings was I kind of had a feeling of sadness when I saw this. I said, "Oh, you poor people don't know what you're in for." Maybe it's better not to know certain things, but who knows? We'll see how that turns out. We'll have more coming up on the Will Rain Show.
Will Rain. Johnny Royal.